Good day, traders. This is Rich with some price action on the market. It's currently 4:24 p.m., December 17, 2020, Thursday. How do you explain this action? Just can't. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. Today was a much better day to the previous three trading days. I was fortunate to end up in the green today, and we'll go into that in a second. I just want to cover a couple things. I made a video on the WNW. Well, it wasn't about that, but I added that piece to it. And if you look at it, yeah, if you got lucky, you got in early on the early day break here, and just watched it halt every 2 seconds, then halt all the way down here. If you're the sucker buying 160 and you opened up at 80, I mean, you're just asking for pain. Bunch of comments yesterday about people buying it. I actually got a good kick out of it, and I really appreciate that. That was pretty cool. One person bought it, took a nap, and woke up to like $500. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I don't know if I would nap on this one though. Now, would you be buying 100 shares? It depends what your account size is, but 100 shares, I mean, you can be up 80 or you can be down 80. So you have to weigh your options here when you're trading something like this. I mean, we're talking about 3 million shares traded just because of halting. If there was no halting, the stock could have gone to like 300. Who knows? The halts just kill people. It's just really frustrating to see it. I know they're in there for a reason, but even on IPOs, I mean, this stuff just hurts. It hurts. I can see, you can get out here. You can get out at 140 going against you. You can't get out in between here in a halting situation. And it just kills people. So anyway, I don't want to get into it too far. We had a couple of those guys acting up today. We had WNW. We had VVOS. It was gapping up big time, making big time moves. Not as much. It's a recent IPO. I think my buddy has another channel. He's talking about a lot. We're in that market where pharmaceuticals / biotech and IPOs are pushing the market right now. And they're getting pushed. They're getting pushed hard. Now, I like IPOs. I enjoy a good IPO setup because it does set up the way I trade. And I'm going to get into that in a second as well. Now, I mentioned the other day about a screenshot. I forgot to bring that up, so I'm going to go over that as well. So let me make sure I don't forget that. Last night, Roku had news that they made a deal with HBO Max, gapped up big time. This is my worst trade of the day. I tried taking the 350 break. I thought I was going to rip to like 360 and just full flush me down. That was unfortunate because that was my second trade of the day, and I was coming off a nice trade. So that was a little frustrating. And as it was coming back up, I was going to try it again, but it never got there. So real quick, let's go back to these crazy gappers. This one, what the heck? Recent IPO. Northern Star, who knows what these things are. EOLS. This is a crazy gapper as well. I can't find the one I was really looking for. Was it SCP? Oh, SCPS. Yeah. This was yesterday's on my watch list. Look, it was closed down. Closed down yesterday at 5:30. Or 592. And then it gapped up and went all the way up to 45, 47.86. Are you serious? So if anyone catching this, and we know those people on YouTube that are catching this and getting other people into it, and they're screwing people over. And I can't really knock on those people, but I don't really care for those people. If you got your piece, you got your piece. But this is just high risk stuff. It's just not worth it. And there was one other, I can't remember. But my day started with one of my favorite stocks lately, which is QS. QS has been a beast. It's a recent IPO as well. September came out, but it's in the EV space. I actually watched a lot of videos and a lot of research on them. I really wish I bought it down here until, obviously once the EV market kind of implodes on itself and it'll be like a $7 stock. That's one thing. But this is one of the best ones, I think. Actually makes the batteries for the EV plays. And there's going to be a lot of demand for this. I don't know if it's worth like a $50 billion stock or whatever the market value is, but that's not what we're trading. So I was trading this information here, and I really liked it because of the pre-market, and I really liked it because, was there something yesterday? No. Yeah, like it went up to 64.70, 64.70 yesterday. And then the pre-market, it made some highs around 65, 66. And once it made this move, let's go back to a 2-minute chart here. Right here, it flushed down, and I was like, I'm not missing this one today. And then once it came back through 65, and look at this ramp up, boom, 65 to 69. This one candle kind of tricked me a little bit. It was unfortunate. It tricked me because I sold a little bit more than I wanted to right here. And then I did get some sales up here. But this was like a 266 trade. Now, based on my previous few days, I want to make sure I mention this. And talking to a few people, I sized down. I was going to possibly take this with 500 shares today. Obviously, hindsight would have been phenomenal to take with 500, but I only took it with 200 shares, and I got 266 out of it on like a 4-point move. Definitely could have been better, but I did hold some. I think I got to sell at like 68.80, and I was pretty happy about that. So pretty good trade there. QS, definitely good to me. And then I went to that Roku trade, and that kind of screwed everything up. Not my day, but I went from up to 266 to down, up to only at 170 or something like that. And then I found yesterday's IPO, UPST. I tried finding myself into it yesterday, and I actually loved it yesterday. It was trading so clean. And here in the morning, you can see it's trading very clean as well. And I traded it at the 33 level right here. Made this move right here, and then I got into it right here through the 33, walked it all the way up, got some sales up at 35.50. Did I have a 36 sale? No, 35.82 is my best sell, and this is one of my best trades. I actually went with 300 shares. Now, usually when I take the break like that, like 33, it makes this huge move. I set the stop. If I'm looking at other stuff, I'll set a hard stop. I don't usually use hard stops, but I set a hard stop at 33.45. Just above it in case it flushed down. I would get a slippage or whatever. I'll still be, above break even on my final shares. I only think I had 25 shares at the time left after this move. And my original thought is I should always set it at my entry or just below, especially if it's a whole number in case it turns around. Look what happened. Turned around at 33.21, went through my stop and turned around and made new highs. So I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to go back to, unless it's like really far up, I'm going to set my stop right at break even or just below it, or watch it when it's coming down and not necessarily set a hard stop. Hard stops are annoying because you get the buy stop runs and it just sucks. But this between UPST, which is the IPO yesterday, and that QS, I really nailed it. I took an MP trade, an FSR trade, small. The other big trade was Tesla that I didn't take, but I was watching this 349 level. Almost got suckered in a couple times. This one went to 349. I wasn't taking this one because I knew it got to suck people in. Touched 349 a couple times here. It's done this so many times in the past few weeks, and it finally goes. I get in it, and I played it with my P&L. I was up a good amount of money. I'm like, I'm not going to lose in this trade. Came back to my entry and just ripped $8, $9. I made like $5 in the trade. It just sucked. But what are you going to do? End of the day, 502. Definitely got off the schneid from the previous 3 days. Felt pretty good, and I kind of was in conservation mode near the end of the day, even though things were setting up pretty good. But just be careful out there with the WNWs and SCPS and all those random things. I think you really need to watch yourself. So hang on a second. I want to show you the screenshot. This is something I'm watching. I always talk about catalysts or things that are making it, news plays are making things move, the market. And, Cramer's one of the biggest pieces. I'm sure if you're trading, you know who Jim Cramer is and his Mad Money show. It's at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm not really big, I like Jim Cramer. I think he's a really smart guy. I don't follow his trading style, but whatever. He can move the market. And on that day, He was interviewing the day I lost on VERU, and you can see the CEO talking here, like breast cancer or something like that. Good stuff, which is awesome. The stock was just cranking. Look at this. So I took a screenshot with my chart behind it. I thought you guys would appreciate that. Just this is at that moment. He's talking. It was a $10 stock at the time. Obviously, we talked about it in the past where it's moved huge numbers, but it's a point and a quarter move while the interview is going on. So I've actually been watching Kramer plays the past 2 days. Yesterday, I watched Boeing and MP. I don't know what's on tonight, and I'm going to probably do it as well. It's kind of interesting to watch. It's not necessarily going to take the trade, but it's interesting to see how one person can move a stock. It's pretty crazy. I know he doesn't mean to do it, personally, but deep inside, he does. He has the ego for it. He tries to protect everyone, but he's the one that's actually moving stocks. It's pretty amazing. So be careful out there. Be careful out there. I know I'm going to be careful. I think I needed today to kind of get back to my normal self. Took only a few trades. And you guys have a good one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video.